Alright, Internet Graph here with some essential hints, tips and information for the Division, starting now. You can mark targets with the Z key or up on the D-pad and allow you to see people through cover. If you hold down the mark button, you can put a 5-second timer. This will allow you to coordinate your attacks with your team members. My second bit of advice, do not get shot in the back. That is a shit time. I'm trying to make a video, still getting shot. Hold on. We'll stick a turret up here. Okay. Whilst you're aiming, if you press the run button, you can switch corners. I have seen a lot of people try to walk around corners without doing that, which is almost as silly as being shot in the back whilst trying to make a tutorial. Okay, so some real basic tips here that probably everyone should know. If you don't know what sort of attachments and compensation to put on your gun, there's quite a lot of stats and things. Just find a blank wall and just fire. Do not adjust. Just let the gun do its own thing and work out sort of the bullet spread pattern and look at what's happened to the wall. So as you can see, this gun, there's no stability issues. The bullet keeps him very tight, but there's a shit ton of vertical recoil. So now when I actually go to put an attachment on, a grip, I know that I need one that's going to reduce vertical recoil. Additionally, what I know from looking at that is that when I go to fire, what I want to do is compensate. So obviously you can fire in bursts, but now I'm just going to fire and slowly pull back on the mouse or the analog stick to adjust for the recoil pattern, which we've just put on the wall over there. Now, if you do that at someone's face, they're going to have a bad time. Another little tip, this is definitely not new to Division, fairly common in modern shooters, pretty much all of them. Pulling out your sidearm is always faster than reloading. So those, if you combine those two really basic things, you've got an advantage over people that don't realise it. Some other real basic things is look both ways when you cross the road, and do not eat whatever this guy is eating, because I mean it's probably illuminous. Guys, don't consume anything that is illuminous. Okay, damage numbers. So obviously when you shoot an enemy, all the numbers come out. What you've probably noticed is that there are multiple colours. In total there are 4. It is blue, white, red and orange. So this is our volunteer. His name is Susan, which is a little bit unfortunate. Only joking, his name's Alex, probably. So if you look at health bar, the boss characters and elite characters, they have white blips above their health. That is basically armour. So you need to get through the armour before you can get to the health bar and do regular damage. So if you land a non-critical body shot on an armoured character, you will see blue numbers coming off to let you know that you have done damage to the armour. Once the armour is down and then you do damage, obviously the damage then will be coming off the health bar. And obviously regular enemies don't have health bars. But if you land a body shot, non-critical, you'll get white numbers coming off. And obviously that means you've got through the armour and you're just doing regular damage. And you're doing the least amount of damage. Because as you can see there, if you land a headshot, headshots are denoted by the colour red. And obviously that's like, double damage, so you always want to go up. Plus any bonuses you have on your gear and weapons and stuff. So the one colour that's missing, which you didn't see any of, that is critical damage. So you'll get orange numbers for crit, but that is coincide with your stats and your gear. If you want to find out where that is, go to character, and then you have your primary attributes. Just scroll down, and you can see here I didn't get any because I have 0 crit chance. And another tip, actually, just have a look through all of those stats. There are a lot of stats. I think a lot of people think that they're fully geared out when they have all yellows, but you might have some real crappy stats, so check that stuff out. In this little clip I'm going to show you, if you use Pulse, that will give you and your teammates crit damage and crit chance. And if you see, I'll shoot this guy in the face, 22,000 damage, that was red, so that was a regular headshot. And then on this guy here, we shoot him, there you go, 35,000 damage, that was a critical headshot, so it combines both sets of damage. So, I mean, later in the game, you're definitely going to be looking for gear. Look at the secondary stats, it's very important. And, things like crit is better than sticky mine damage. Unless you use a sticky mine. Okay, so all of the skills are pretty self-explanatory, but I'll show you a few little things. So obviously you can hit the button once and then it will give you like a launcher, or you can, you know, throw it out depending on what it is, or pulse is obviously instant. So if you double tap, you can instantly use a lot of them, or instantly place a lot of them. The best use of that is obviously what I just did there, which is a very fast instant heal, and that will obviously heal you and your friends in a small radius. If you go up flush against a waist height cover like that, double tap the turret, you will just instantly place it at the top. If you were running, you would just drop it at your feet. But you know, it saves you a little bit of time if you don't need to throw it or place it manually. Okay, this one here is the revive station. Obviously the primary use is it's an area of effect heal. Stay inside of it and then you'll get, you know, a hot basically heal over time. And you know, obviously you can mod it to do some other things. But the secondary thing it does, which some people don't seem to realise, is that it will also revive even the base version. If you go down and someone has this up, just go up to it, crawl up to it, and then you can revive yourself. I say this because I've been in the group with a random people and some guys, you know, shouting abuse over the radio at me to revive him when he's laying on top of my thing and he just has to press F. If you double tap the wall cover or the smart cover, you'll instantly place it. It's another just little thing you can save some time and get your damage buff for you and your friends. The riot shield, you can once you've got it up, you can still run and jump and climb and do all that stuff. The only thing you can't do is switch to like a primary or secondary weapon. I imagine if you've got a riot shield as your chosen thing, you've probably got a pretty good sidearm. But you can still run and jump and, you know, use all this, so don't worry about, you know, wasting the cooldown. If you want to get rid of it, you just need to press the button again, then you'll just toss it aside. And that is when the cooldown will begin. Okay, as for the smart mine, this one, much like the turret, the smart mine, the cooldown will begin as soon as you use it. And the smart mine in particular is best to not wait until you're in combat. You know, unless you're trying to be sneaky. But if you just put it down, it will follow you. Like, it will just follow you like a pet. And remember, the cooldown has already begun. I call him Splody. So then you pretty much just got to find. It's not very good at climbing up ladders, I'll be honest, but stairs and things like that will do it fine. Oh, Splody, attack! Don't be afraid to use your consumables, your foods and drinks, and you know your specialized ammo. You probably, if you're like me, you're probably going around and there's just shit tons of like red items on the floor which you can't pick up because your inventory is full. So don't be afraid to use these things. You know, I'm not saying waste them on regular, you know, basic mobs, but a lot of these things are going to come in really useful. The energy bar is especially useful in things like the dark zone, because if someone throws an incendiary or any type of grenade really, take an energy bar and you're immune to like all side effects. Also, if you load up LMG with explosive rounds, you're going to have a good time. And then obviously, if you're able to, always help a citizen in need, because they will give you usually cosmetic items, but on occasion they can give you some pretty decent stuff. But I guess it's all RNG. Okay, so you console guys, you're going to have to let me know if you have the same options, but on the PC there's some pretty useful movement options which are all turned off by default. So if you don't go and have a look at it, you'll probably never know they're here. But it's things like parkour mode, there's like a super fast 180 turn. There's a way to move around corners a bit better, and what I recommend is hold to sprint rather than press to sprint. But this is the 180 turn, you literally just press back, then press the sprint button and you'll flick around instantly, and that's pretty useful. Parkour mode, that is basically if you hold the run button, your character will automatically jump, climb, leap over any obstacle that is able to basically. You don't need to press the jump button or whatever. This is the corner button. It's basically, rather than the animation, you'll get a little arrow and you kind of want to, you have more control, you just press the button, it'll do it for you. I don't know why this is not on by default. Then we have double tap to roll, and this works in any direction, and as you can see, the internet has already worked out that you can get in and around your base much faster.
You're an inspiration to us all.
Damn right I am. Ladders, you can climb up a bit faster with the sprint button. If you want to go down faster, hold the sprint button, then you'll do a slide. If you want to eject a little bit quicker, just press the climb and then you can jump off at any point. And you can also do that on ropes, as demonstrated here by Lara Croft. Now on the PC, we are so used to getting really horrible user interfaces that work so really well with a control pad, but they don't really, have any of the benefits you get from the mouse and keyboard. But Massive have done a really good job with this, because much like in Windows, you can use Shift and Control to highlight multiple things, and then with that you can make it all set to junk together, or deconstruct it all together. If you're on the console, you're gonna have to let me know if you're able to do this as well. But that's a really nice touch. So once you've marked it all as junk, you can obviously sell it quickly at a vendor, or what I would recommend to most people is to instead deconstruct it, especially in the early levels, because you're going to get an upgrade later for your tech wing. If you have a look at the perks, there's one which will allow you to convert materials up one tier at a ratio of 5:1. So all of these greys and junk, which if you were to vendor would be worth absolutely nothing, can get you materials which are going to be useful even in the end game. And what this does is basically 5 greens turns into 1 blue, 5 blues turns into 1 gold, and that's a lot better than, the like 10 credits you would have got for it. Okay, so enemies have weak spots, obviously. It's their stupid faces, but what isn't so obvious, or actually what is obvious on some but not on others, is they often carry equipment, which is also, dangerous to them and everyone around them. The most obvious ones are obviously the gas canisters. You shoot the gas canisters and they explode, and it's pretty cool. It's very fun to do. Things that may be a little less obvious, you can get guys. This is elite bosses and even just the most basic grunt. This guy here, they have grenades on their back. All of these things are painted red, and the way you know you've hit something, if you're spraying an enemy, then you see a random yellow X hit marker. It knows it means you've basically, you've hit their equipment, and they usually explode straight after it. As you can see, this is a close-up, and I've just hit him on the back. He has 2 grenades on the back of his pack, and this is a level 2 enemy, so it can be on absolutely anyone, depending on the class of enemy. Obviously this is a grenadier man, a splody man throw, whatever. This is another grenadier. This is a higher level one, and you'll notice that this guy, these ones have basically packs around their thighs, just grenade packs, and you can shoot them. There's one on either side, and then you can blow them up. Often those will be incendiary grenades, so they'll set fire to their area around them. You can see the machine gunners. This one again is not, it's not super obvious to spot straight away, but they have on their backpacks, they have another little pouch connected to that, which is full of ammunition. You shoot that, it's going to do damage to everyone around him, and he's stunned. So especially with these boss versions, you just want to, once it's doing that, just unload on his face, get as much damage off as possible. Snipers, I've not seen any snipers yet that have any equipment like that, but I think snipers are probably the biggest pain in the balls. So I'm going to show you a little tip if you are having trouble with them, because in the later game they can pretty much just kill you at one hit. But if you're able to flank or just get up close to them, what they do, their super dangerous sniper rifle goes away, and instead they pull out a pistol which doesn't do nearly as much damage. And then I think I'm trying to find a weak spot here. Yeah, there you go. You wanna shoot snipers in their balls. So if you haven't noticed already, if you go to your intel section and look at the field data, this is all of the collectibles. It's like, the incident reports, the crash drones, that kind of thing. But if you go on each individual category, you'll realise that if you collect all of them, you will get a cosmetic reward for each. So what you need to know is that you do not have to go on a pixel hunt, explore every nook and cranny, because there's freaking hundreds of them. It will take ages. Go to security wing. In fact, if you go to every single wing, if you're starting out the game, and look through every single perk and make a choice on what order to upgrade things. But this one in particular, the K9 unit, will give you the Intel Discovery perk, which is once you've completed the events or the encounters and the side missions in a zone, the dogs will basically sniff them out and put every collectible on your map. Now, if you're not sure how exactly to know if you've actually got everything, you don't actually have to go around and find the missions. In every single safe house, which obviously safe houses are your spawn points and your fast travel points, as soon as you find a new safe house, just go in. In every single one, there is a JTF officer and a bulletin board. JTF officer will add all of the side missions to your map, and then the bulletin board will add all of the encounters in that area. Also, you don't need to, it's not like Assassin's Creed where you want to instantly go and get every single tower. The game will progress you through this at a reasonable rate. Okay, you are able to make more than one character, which is quite good. You make 4 in total. In fact, you're probably going to need to if you're playing with friends, because there's no level scaling up or down, which is a little bit annoying. But what you'll get if you transfer a character is the stash is shared across all characters. So if you put stuff in there, you can easily transfer gear or use it to get crafting materials. Unfortunately, crafting materials are not shared. Kind of wish it was. But other than that, what is good is that the cosmetic, all of your your coats and jackets and all of that stuff is shared across your characters. It's not like you're starting to grind all over again. Anyway guys, that there is a video. Hope you liked it. Before I give you the final and most important bit of information, bit of advice I can give you, I'm going to do my YouTube bullshit, which is to say, if you liked the video, if you found anything useful at all, give it a thumbs up. That stuff helps me out a lot. If you did not like the video and thought it was complete shit, then give it a thumbs down. And also, maybe send it to someone who you do not like very much. I will be making other Division stuff, so if you do want to follow the channel, give it a subscribe. And now for my final and most important bit of advice for the Division. You will find lots of cosmetic goods that will change your character. You will find hats, coats, shoes, belts, trousers. You will find weapons and gear to increase your stats. You could be the master of high-end gear, master of DPS, the king of the dark zone, the lord of the end game. But none of that matters, because there's one thing that you always need to remember. You are not cool unless you wear a bobble hat.